In this video, I'll be covering everything about useRef hook and forwardRefs in React. We'll be deep diving into each and every concept, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know about this hook. And by the end of this video, you will be completely confident with how and where exactly you should use them in your React app by following standard code practices. Welcome back to Full Stack Simplified. My name is Prashun and I am here to share some amazing contents related to full stack. So if that sounds interesting, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. For getting started, I have a basic React application up and running here, and as we can see that we have a simple input field here and we have a state which we are maintaining in order to keep the value, and also we are changing it once we are typing anything in this input field. And accordingly, you can also see that we are also having a div, which is basically showing that input state at any point of time. So if I quickly go to my browser and type anything, you can see the value instantaneously getting displayed here. Now let us see how we are going to use the useRef hook in our component. But before we start using them, let me give you a very short introduction about them. Basically in React, useRefs are used for mainly two purposes. The first one is to use a value which persists between render cycles, and unlike useStates, it does not re-renders the component by itself. And secondly, and the majorly, it is used to refer any HTML element in the DOM. Usually with the plain JS, we use IDs and tags and query selectors to access any element. But in React, we have been provided with much better and special useRef hook for accessing a particular element in the DOM. So let's talk about the first use case where we want to store a value which persists between different render cycles. And the best example will be to display the number of times our component re-renders. So you may wonder, why not use the useState hook for this? Let me show you what exactly the problem will be running into if we use states in this case. So let us quickly create a state, and I'll name this state as count and set count. And I am going to initialize it with a value of 1. Next, let us quickly import the useEffect hook. And in this useEffect hook, what we are going to do is we are going to increment this count by 1 every time this component re-renders. So let us say useEffect, and this will be a simple useEffect without any dependency array. So we are going to say set count to previous state plus 1. And also I want to display this count in our JSX. So I want it as div, and here I can say re-rendered, and I'm going to say the count. Now as soon as I save this code, the value of count will keep on increasing indefinitely. And let me tell you why. Basically, this useEffect hook is going to run each time the component re-renders. And in here, we are setting the state which will again re-render this component. And this will happen again and again, pushing our app into an infinite loop. So in order to solve this issue, we can use useRef hook here. So let me first comment out this set count, because if we leave it like this, it is going to keep on increasing the value of count. Next, let us also import the useRef hook from the React library. And here, instead of declaring this count variable as a state, I'm going to say count is equals to useRef with an initial value of 1. And also, don't forget to remove this piece of line. And inside this useEffect, we are going to increment this count variable by 1. So basically every ref in React has a property called current, and we can set it by simply typing count.current, and here I'm going to increment it every time by 1. So I'm going to say plus 1 every time the component re-renders. And obviously I also want to display this value here in our JSX. So I'm going to say count.current, and let me save it quickly. And as we can see that this time we are not going into the indefinite loop. And if I type something here, you can see this re-rendered count is increasing. Now let us talk about the second use case, that is to refer a element in the DOM tree. So for this, I am simply going to create a button with a text of submit here. And so what we want here is when we click on this submit button, and if the text box is empty, we want to focus this text box so that the user knows what he has missed. For this, we need to have a reference to this particular input field. And obviously, we are going to use ref for that. So for this, I'm again going to create another ref, and I'll name it as input ref. And we are going to say useRef. And initially, the value will be undefined. Next, on the click event of this button, we're going to have a simple click handler, which we are going to declare, obviously. So I'm going to say click handler, and let us first console what we are getting in this input ref first. Input ref dot current. And also don't forget to use this input ref for our input element, and we can do this by simply using this ref property, which is available for all the HTML element in React. So we can say ref equals to input ref. And now if I quickly expand my browser and open the console, you can see that as soon as we click on submit, and we are getting this input field and all the values which are associated with it. So now let us quickly go back to our editor, and here what we want to do is we want to first grab the value of this text field, and we can grab this using this input state here in a controlled manner, as the React says, but also you can grab this value in an uncontrolled manner. Let me show you how. So I'm going to say const value is equals to input ref dot current dot value, and this will be giving us the value of this text field, what is inside this text field. And we are going to say if not value, that is if there is no value, that if nothing has been written, this text box is empty, we are going to simply focus this text field. So I'm going to say input ref dot current dot focus, and if there is a value, then simply we are going to display it in an alert. So I'm going to say alert this value. Let me quickly save it and go to my browser, and I'll simply expand it. So now if I click on the submit button, you can see that immediately it is focusing on this input. Now if I type something and click on submit, we are getting this alert. Now this is pretty cool, but in most other projects, you would be pretty much using custom components having this sort of input fields inside them. But in these cases, you won't have the access to refs directly. So how do we deal with it? So that's where forwardRef comes into the picture. So in order to show you that, I'm simply going to create a component called custom input.js, and here what we are going to do is simply return this input from our app component. And here we are also going to receive props, which I'm simply going to spread it like this. With 3 dots. And in app component, let us quickly import custom input. And instead of using this HTML input, I'm going to say custom input. And now if we save this code and quickly click on the submit button, we can see that this cannot read the value with the property of null. And this is happening because this ref which we are passing here is not getting passed as expected. And here we are going to use the React forward ref in order to get the work done. So let us quickly go to our custom input component, and here I'm going to say custom input is equals to react.forwardRef, and this is a function which we are going to call like this, and we are going to receive 2 parameters. The first one is the props and another one is the ref, and here we are going to say ref is equals to ref, and previously as we were spreading the props it will be same, that will be no changes here. And let us quickly save the code and go to our browser and reload this page. And now if we click on this submit button, we can see that now it is working as it was working earlier. And that is all about useRef hook and forward refs in React. If you enjoyed this video, do hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more contents like this. I'll be back with new content soon. Till then, stay tuned and thanks for watching.